Hi, it's Mike Tom back for Missionfest week. Joined now with Alex Henderson from Mission Aviation Fellowship. One of my favorite organizations to follow along with because, Alex, you guys are involved in so many cool things all throughout the world and helping uh, all sorts of different mission agencies. For those who aren't familiar with MAF, first of all, maybe just tell us a little bit about what your organization does.
For sure, yeah, and thanks, Mike and folks, for giving us the opportunity to share. So MAF, or Mission Aviation Fellowship, it's been around for 77 years. It started after World War II. Three pilots, two men, one woman, wanted to, as their words, stop dropping bombs and dropping hope. And that started 77 years later. We are serving in 31 countries around the world. It's the largest private fleet of aircraft in the world, so we have over 130 planes. We serve 1,500 destinations. Last year alone, we had 170,000 passengers. We traveled in small planes. So I'm talking up to 10, 11 seaters. And we partner with over 21 organizations, many that might be on this call and that we love working with all over the place.
Yeah, I've had quite a few friends that work for different organizations, different mission agencies, places like Papua New Guinea, and
Exactly.
and one of the cool things to always see involved in their stories is that MAF is helping them get to the different places they need to go. It's kind of a unique aspect about MAF, I guess. You don't help MAF people only; you're helping everyone that you can.
Yeah, that's a great point, Mike, because about 70%, just under 70% of who we fly is not necessarily people of faith. And that's something that's a cool component to be practical when you're out there. So whether it's the United Nations, whether it's World Health Organization, whether it's UNICEF, whether it's different medical groups, and some I can't mention, but you know that you would know who they are. That's a huge part of what we do. And it's the nationals that we fly in those countries. They cannot afford to get from A to B, and we do a huge amount of that and subsidize most of it.
That's pretty cool. How has the last 2 years been for you folks as an organization? Did you have to adjust quite a bit as the pandemic kind of came to be, and how did that affect you as a ministry?
Yeah, it did initially, and again, MAF Canada's world's a little unique because the only program we technically operate in is Angola, Africa, but we supply pilots, mechanics, teachers to many of the other 31 countries. So we kind of hear stories from what's happening. And basically, to answer your question, at the beginning of the pandemic, everything was a little slower to come to the news there, as we all probably realize. But when it did hit some of those countries, especially in Africa, it decimated some of them. Our flying went down to 10, 15% of our typical flying. The good news is it's back up again, and a lot of the countries we're in, the governments realize that we're often the only ones getting to those faraway, isolated places. So they even have made us, in some instances, a priority, which is something that is, pretty ironic, yet it's a wonderful story to be able to continue to say, we do so much. And it's back, not quite where it was, but pretty close.
What does the future look like for MAF then, as you look at development and stuff like that? What are some of the hopes and plans for you folks right now?
Well, it's a twofold. I'll kind of answer it, and I'll end with one that's more in Canada here. But continue to grow with different NGOs, and those who don't know, that's non-governmental organizations around the world. Continue to serve them and continue to grow the network of the locals that we fly around. That's obviously a huge thing. If folks don't know, we are a Christian organization, as you probably know, and our main reference when we talk about it is we provide hope and provision for the poorest people in most isolated places. So our pilots, mechanics, teachers, nurses, etc., that work with us, that's their goal, to do that when the opportunities presented. We're not slamming people over the head with it, but we are first and foremost transportation system. And then in those countries we go, and the need is huge. Like, there are people that still you can't get to other than by plane. The only other one I'd leave with you, you can leave it with your donors here. I mean, we continue to look at possibly going back into northern Canada. We were there before, and it was a lesson learned, some things we should have thought through a little differently, which we are, and we haven't started that yet in earnest. Yet we are definitely doing our due diligence. look at that. And as that comes up, that will be a huge thing that we'll be introducing to people to help in our Indigenous, friends up in the north.
That sounds very exciting. Something we could definitely be in prayer about for you folks right now.
Exactly.
What else would you have at the top of your prayer list for people listening? How could they pray for MAF?
A big one is appreciate safety. Like, it's pretty crazy when you're thinking, just to give you a snapshot story for your donors here is, when we were in Angola and there was civil war for, I think it was 20, 30 plus years, we were marked as a plane not to shoot down, just to say that. So we were allowed to fly, and both sides didn't hit us, which was amazing. But I say all that to say that safety for our pilots, mechanics, and those that we're transporting is at the top of the list, because it's very risky in some of these countries. The terrain is crazy.
Yeah.
There could be civil strife going on, and so that's something that I'd say, Mike, would be right at the top of our list. And just continued safety and interaction with people. It's provides such hope and happiness, and in the world nowadays, you need that. And some of the stories are amazing on how we provide that.
Yeah, we've told a couple stories recently at chvnradio.com. Looking forward to telling more. You mentioned the terrain in some places. I had that missionary friend in Papua New Guinea, and he would post pictures from the airplane or sometimes a helicopter, and that was just, big no for me. So
yes,
hats off to those pilots and what they do, and it's pretty amazing what they do. How can people find out more about Mission Aviation Fellowship and see what you're up to and that kind of stuff and follow along?
Yeah, the easiest way is probably just to go right to our website, which is simply www.mafc.org, and find out more. And it's a pretty cool website, very interactive. If you have stories to say, how are MAF, how are they helping people in one of the countries that you are passionate about supporting, it's there. It talks about the staff we have. It also highlights how they can connect and support and become a flight crew member, something like that. And each small connection, as we always say, the spokes on the wheel is huge, and it makes a difference. And we want to continue to grow and serve and partner with organizations, and we're more in the background, but that's our intent. So that's something I'd say is go to our website, mafc.org, and look us up and spend some time and enjoy the time they're looking at it.
And of course, everybody can stop by and see you at Missionfest. You'll have a booth there and can stop in, say hi, and find out more.
We'd love to meet you. Yeah, that'd be great for you guys to drop by. Thank you.
Perfect. Anything else you wanted to mention, Alex, before we let you go?
No, I think that's it. We're just looking forward to seeing people in person and humans again. And
right.
You're looking forward to that. Make sure you go to Missionfest Manitoba. These guys do an awesome job if you don't know. So thank you.